Hi guys, welcome back to a new video of mine. I am so excited to film this video right now because I will be talking about the best books I have read this year, and I'm very excited. Like I said, it's the end of this year. Crazy. So there are going to be a few videos where I'm just going to be talking about my favorite books of the year. I'm starting this with the end of the year book tag that Destiny created because I loved watching her video and it was so interesting, and I thought it was going to be the funnest way to get started with all the best books of the year video. Let's get started. There are a lot of questions, I think like around 20, and they're all super fun, so I'm excited to start. Okay, let's start with the most disappointing book of the year, which is a very sad start, but okay. And that was definitely for me, and I feel like for a lot of people as well, Iron Flame, because yeah, I'm just a little bit sad about the book because I had so high expectations and then it just like did not deliver as I hoped it would. Like, Fourth Wing was so good, and this one so boring, so put me in a slump. I had to read other books in between because it just was so bad. And yeah, that's what I can say about this book. I'm excited to read the third one because I think there's going to be a little bit of bigger time between the other two, so maybe it's going to be better. But yeah, this one was just not it. Very sadly, especially because I loved Fourth Wing. I think that didn't particularly help, you know? Okay, next book. Underdog book of the year. And I don't know if that counts as like an underdog, but I would definitely say Out on a Limb because it was like a Kindle Unlimited book that I heard people talk about, but I haven't heard anything more about it. It was, I think, like from a debut author, like a new author or something, I don't know. And I just randomly started reading it on my Kindle and it was so good. Oh my god, I loved it so fucking much. It was actually crazy. I was giggling, kicking my feet, reading until 3 a.m. I think, to just read the book because it was so good and I could not stop and would not stop, so I just loved it. And please go read this book because it was so well written, the storyline was so well done, and it was just like, you know, very well done, like body positivity, just very positive. I don't know how to explain it very well because the two main characters both had disabilities and they were talking a lot about that, but in a very positive way. It just was very like a lot of themes were talked about, and I felt like that's very, it was just very well done. Anyways, a book that was overhyped. I'm just gonna say, in generally, Lucy Score books because everybody loves them and I don't. Please don't come for me. I just don't like the writing style. They're super long. I hate the male main character every time I read a book by her, so I stopped. Probably. I don't know. There's always like the pressure to read because I'm like, well, maybe I'm gonna like it, but then I'm no. So anyways, no. I just didn't like love her books. Like By a Thread, Things We Never Got Over, no. But if you love them, that's cool. I love that for you, but just no for me. And then we have favorite book couple, and that is so fun because I just read all the Hunger Games books and I'm back in my obsession from 2015 or something because I am obsessed with Katniss and Peter full on again. They are just genuinely the best book couple, and Peter is just chef's kiss and I love them. Real or not real, burned into my brain, like please tattoo it onto my body. I love it so much. On another note, I also love Westbrook from Six of Crows, Elsie and Jack from But Theoretically, and Mallory Nolan from Check and Mate. I'm very excited for Ellie Hazelwood's new release next year, so because 2 of her books were in there. But I just love all these couples because they were well done, they helped each other, They were just very positive, I feel like, and yeah, I love them. Anyways, favorite main character. And that's kind of crazy because that hasn't changed since April. So my very first favorite character was Reese by The Vanishing Half. I read that in the beginning of the year, like January 4th. And it hasn't changed. I love him so much. It's actually crazy. And yeah, that's on that. And otherwise, I would definitely say Benji from Beartown, which I do have here with me because we will need it later. But I love Benji so much. But yeah, there were obviously a lot of other book characters that I also love, but these are just like top notch, I would say. Then we have a book that surprised you, and that was definitely 1500 Miles from the Sun, which was another Kindle Unlimited book. I think these always surprise me. And it was a queer romance story between two high schoolers, and it was just like talked about a lot of different topics. For example, one of the dads of one was very homophobic, and he actually got kicked out because of that. And the way it talked about that, and then college, like making a decision about college, where to go for college, was very relatable in that moment for me. And it was very sad. I definitely cried, but it was very, very well done. And I loved it. Another book that surprised me, I just have to mention it, is Anatomy. I love the story because I went into this like, well, I'm probably gonna like it, but am I gonna like love it? Probably not. You know, it's a historical romance. I don't know. Guys, I gave it 5 stars. I couldn't like annotate it because it was a library book, but like I took photos of the pages like as quotes because I was just like so obsessed with it, and I loved it. I love the main characters, I love the storyline. There was a bit of a mystery with it, and after I finished that in like one sitting, I want to say, like it was like a fever dream, I instantly bought the second one. That wasn't as good, but like still really, really good. So please go read it. And if you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, you will, because it's so fucking good, okay? Thanks. Sorry, got a bit emotional about that one. Then we have a new favorite author you discovered in 2023, which were quite actually, I think, a lot, because I don't know about a lot of new authors, and that was always very fun. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I have never, I didn't know about these authors before I read that. But I want to say Hannah Christian, who wrote The Great Alone and The Four Winds and The Nightingale. Lee Bardugo, who wrote Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone and Ninth House. And TJ Kuhn, who wrote The House in the Cerulean Sea and The House of Puppets. And Lisa Jewell, who wrote Then She Was Gone, The Night She Disappeared. None of this is true. Yeah, all of these authors I just genuinely loved. I think it's funny because Hannah Christian, my favorite lit fic, Lee Bardugo, my favorite fantasy, TJ Kuhn, I don't know what his genre is, and he's a dual thriller, so that's all very fitting. Romance books, I think it's still like Ellie Hazelwood and Henry. Not sure though, but yeah. So that is that. I just love their books so much. Their writing is exquisite. Now we have Happiest Read of the Year, and that was Renegades. I just had such a great time reading this trilogy. I just finished it, so that's maybe also why it's one of my happiest reads. It was just so fun, very YA, science fiction, gave me all the like Hunger Games vibes, just like, because it was kind of not similar, but it just gave me the same vibes, like, you know, fun times. And I was laughing so much. It was definitely like, ooh, so crazy stuff, and I needed to keep reading. Like the last book I've read until like 2 a.m. because I just couldn't stop. I wanted to know what's gonna happen. So yeah, it's about a group of renegades who are like the superheroes of the city, and then there's the anarchists who are the villains of the town and who wanna kill the main renegades. And then it's about Nova, who's an anarchist, and Adrian, who's a renegade, and they, well, there's a little bit of romance, but she's a spy for the anarchists and the renegades. It's just crazy but so fun. and please go read the series if you haven't already. Then we have most frustrating book of the year, and I had quite a few, but one that definitely stood out to me was The Light We Lost, because it just felt not great, because I feel like there was a cheating trope, or at least an emotional cheating trope. Then they also like fell in love during 9/11, and it just felt a little bit disrespectful in a way, not great. I don't know, just gave me a little bit of an ick towards that, and I don't know, just did not love it. And I was like, I should have just DNF'd it, but I was like, no, I will be finishing this book. No, I shouldn't have. Then we have best adaptation of the year, and that was Red, Red, Horrible. Oh my god, I can't believe this is finally out, the movie. While it wasn't like as good as the book, because the book is like 10 million stars for me, it was still really good for like what they could have done, you know, as a book that is supposed to be 5 hours long, and with a pretty thick book where a lot is going on. And yeah, I just loved seeing it come alive, hearing the quotes. It was really, really good, and please go watch it if you haven't already. And yeah, I loved it. It was so good. I love you, little bookie. Then we have longest book that you read this year, and that was without a doubt A Little Life. I love the floppiness of this book, and I love how I edited like a third and then I just stopped because I just needed to find out what's gonna happen. But I will reread it probably next year and then I annotate it, because I loved it. It was one of the best books I've read ever, obviously, and yeah, just so good. And 800 pages long, so very thick, but definitely worth it. The shortest book that I have read this year was The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Backman, that I've read as an audiobook, and it was only 67 pages long, so really, really short, like 50-minute audiobook, but still very cute, very fun, and yeah, I liked it. I would definitely recommend it if you need like to go up with your reading goal, to like finish your reading goal of the year, you know what I mean? Anyways, then we have favorite book covers of the year, and I would definitely say A Curse for True Love. I love it so much. I have the UK version and I think it is so pretty. I love all the books, and I also have the version where it is like that, and it's just gorgeous, honestly gorgeous. I love it so fucking much, and the storyline behind it is also very beautiful, so I feel like it fits very well, you know. I love it so much. Then we have a book that I haven't stopped thinking about. Is definitely Andrew and Santi Were Here by, I don't know the name of the author, but you can see it here. So this book is about two Mexican American people, teenagers who fall in love, but one of them is undocumented, and then that's all I can say really, because then it gets like very like sad and just emotional, and you kind of read like, I hate America so much and it's just disgusting and I hate it, and every time I think about America I need to think about the book, because it's just so sad what happened, as you can imagine. But yeah, I'm also currently watching Superstore, and it's very similar in that thing, so just bringing up all the emotions again. And yeah, I feel like you should definitely read it, and you shouldn't stop thinking about a book, you know what I mean? Anyways, then we have cringiest book of the year, and I would say Things We Never Got Over, because why would a 40-year-old man pee in the garden naked just for funsies? Like, what? I was reading this and I was like, what are you doing? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. Like, what? Are men just like disgusting? Or what's going on? And I just didn't like. I was like, no, absolutely not. So that's on that. Might be an unpopular opinion though, I don't know. And another unpopular book that I loved was, I wouldn't say it's unpopular, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it and praise it as much as I would, but it would be Weather Girl by Jennifer Lynn Solomon, I think, because it is so fun, so good. It was the perfect little palette cleanser, perfect romance book. Just, it had no flaws. Genuinely no flaws. The third breakup wasn't annoying, the characters were fun, there was a plus size man, it was a male love interest, and I feel like that was very refreshing, and yeah, just really good. Just really, really good. And I love Jennifer Lynn Solomon's writing in her books. So, and then we have highest and lowest book you read on Goodreads, and if I agree. And I have already looked, but my lowest rated book was I'm the Girl, with a 3.4 rating. I can put on a picture here. And I gave it 3 stars, so I think I would agree. But I think the rating is still a little bit low because it was a fun audiobook about teenagers, a mystery, deep topics. And yeah, I liked it. I would definitely recommend it and would give it a rating of like 3.71 on Goodreads. And then we have All the Young Dudes with a star rating of 4.81. Yeah, take that, J.K. Rowling, because it is a Harry Potter fan fiction, so don't come for me for that. But I mean, I totally agree with that rating because I gave it 5 stars, and it probably was one of my favorite books I've read all year. So thumbs up with that. Very deserved, very great book, and I count it as a book because I will get it for Christmas as a book, so that nobody can be like, oh, it's a fan fiction. I don't care. Please print it, sell it at bookstores. I would sell all the copies. Then I wouldn't have to do it myself. I would be like, thank you, I will give you all my money. Anyways, don't think that would work actually, sadly. Then we have favorite books of the year. Sadly, I have most of my books, like I said, at home, especially my annotated ones, so that's a little bit upsetting, but I do have Beartown here with me, and I have that one annotated because it's so good, and I'm just gonna... It's so good because it's a story about a Swedish small town and about hockey players and about a girl who gets sexually assaulted by a hockey player of their team, and everybody kind of starts blaming her, and it's just a lot of mixed reviews of the town. I don't think that was logical speaking, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at explaining it, but it is so good. Okay, I found a good quote that like describes not only the book but like the sense of adulthood and how Frederick Beckman just writes. All adults have days when we feel completely drained, when we no longer know quite what we spend so much time fighting for, when reality and everyday worries overwhelm us and we wonder how much longer we are going to be able to carry on. The wonderful thing is that we can live through far more days like that without breaking than we think. The terrible thing is that we never know exactly how many. It's just so good! And Frederick Beckman writing is so good! And another one, I love winners. Even though they're very rarely particularly likable people, they're almost always obsessive and selfish and inconsiderate. That doesn't matter. We forgive them. We like them while they're winning. Yeah, oh my god. I love this book and I love the world. And it is very sad, so be aware of that. Just saying. Don't come for me if you're emotionally destroyed by the book, okay? Thanks. Then we have books with the most unique concept, and I would just say The Naturals because I love the series I recently also finished it, and I just think it's so fun having like 5 teenagers work with the FBI to solve serial killer crimes. Just so good, just so interesting. I loved it, and please read the series because you will have the best time ever while solving crimes. And yeah, so fun, so good. And now we have books I would reread, and I'm just gonna say, yeah, probably more. I love rereading books, so definitely more. But those are like actual plans for next year, you know? And now we've reached the end of the book tag, so the last few questions are like about reading goals. And so reading goal reflections. My reading goal for this year was to read 100 books, and I have read around 240, so I double that by far, which I love. But when I say this, I mean I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I had a pretty chill year just because I finished high school, graduated, then took a year off, and now I'm back in uni. So I was traveling, I was having fun, I was working, but like not crazy. So just keep that in mind. It was a year of books. I don't think next year's gonna be like that because I'm already stressed with uni, so that's on that. But yeah, I did pretty well. And my next reading goal for next year is gonna be 125, because I think this is gonna be challenging but totally manageable. And with that number, I want to say I want to read like at least 75 or more, like reading and not listening. And yeah, what are you prioritizing in 2024 in terms of like reading? And I already wrote down all my goals, so we can go through them as well. So we have read at least 125 books, and definitely quality over quantity. So I want to read more books that I know I'm gonna like love, and not just random books. Read more genres. I want to have like a very like equal number of romance books, thrillers, fantasy, lit fic, historical fiction, everything just very equal, which is gonna be hard, but anyways. And I want to read more memoirs and classics and lit fic because I know I'm gonna love these, but I just need to read more of them. Yeah, read more iconic books, like all the books like Percy Jackson, Game of Thrones, Maze Runner, Evergone, all these very popular book series a couple of years ago that I still need to read. And sell some books because I need to do that. Not like these books that I talked about, but like old books, German books, books I don't particularly love, so all these books, because I need more space on my bookshelf to buy new books. And yeah, those were all my reading goals, all my reads this year. And that was that, I think, for the year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your favorite book of the year, what you enjoyed the most, and what are your guys' plans for 2024. How is it already so close to 2024? But then at least we're close to 2025, which I'm excited about because that's a nice number, like 2025. Sounds very nice in my head. Anyways, very random. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did. Go like and subscribe if you did. And I hope I see you in the next one. Bye guys!